Welcome, movie fans, to Movies Review. Today we're diving into the thrilling, edge-of-your-seat survival horror, The Shallows. This movie isn't just about a shark attack, it's about the ultimate battle between human willpower and the deadly force of nature. In this video, we'll break down the plot of The Shallows, exploring the intense journey of Nancy, played by Blake Lively, who finds herself trapped on an isolated beach with a bloodthirsty shark lurking nearby. Can she outsmart the predator? And will she survive the nightmare that seems impossible to escape? We'll uncover hidden details about the movie that you might have missed, reveal some surprising facts behind the scenes, and analyze why The Shallows has become a standout thriller in the shark genre. Stick with us till the end, because you won't want to miss the shocking twists and insights that make this film truly unique. So grab your popcorn and let's dive in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us as we review The Shallows, only here on Movies Review. The movie The Shallows begins with a seemingly innocent and peaceful setting. Nancy, played by Blake Lively, arrives at a remote, secluded beach to surf. The scene is tranquil, with the vast expanse of the ocean stretching out before her. The location is beautiful, the kind of place many would dream of escaping to for some quiet alone time. However, as serene as the scene may seem, this is a classic horror movie setup where the calm before the storm is often the most deceptive. What seems like a simple surfing trip soon takes a dark and terrifying turn. Nancy is not alone in her beach adventure. There are a few other beachgoers scattered around, including two local surfers who head out to ride the waves before her. Yet, Nancy chooses to venture a little further out into the water alone. This sense of isolation soon becomes central to the plot as she gets closer to the shark's hunting ground. It's here, in this peaceful yet isolated setting, that the movie's inciting incident occurs. As Nancy surfs the waves, she is attacked by a shark, violently pulled underwater. The attack leaves her gravely injured, and with no immediate help around, Nancy finds herself stranded on a small rock, surrounded by open water. The vastness of the ocean contrasts sharply with the smallness of her rock, a tiny island of safety amid a sea of danger. The shark lurks beneath the water, watching her every move. This is where the real tension of the film begins. Nancy now faces a brutal struggle for survival, her every decision and action determining whether she lives or becomes the shark's next meal. As the plot unfolds, Nancy's fight for survival becomes a psychological and physical roller coaster. The tension constantly shifts between moments of hope and despair. At first, she is hopeful, trying to signal for help and finding ways to fight back. But as the hours pass and no help arrives, her initial optimism fades into a more primal form of survival instinct. Nancy's resilience is tested with each passing hour as she tries to conserve her energy, make rational decisions, and avoid falling into panic. The challenges she faces are immense. First, she has limited resources. The only things at her disposal are a surfboard, a broken phone, a few scraps of food, and a medical kit that she uses to treat her wounds. Her situation grows dire as she realizes that she has no means of communicating for help, and the sun is setting, making it more difficult for anyone to see her. Throughout her ordeal, she uses her medical knowledge to treat herself, trying to keep the shark at bay and maintaining a level head despite the terror that grows with every passing moment. Then there's the shark. It's not just an obstacle, it's a constant, menacing presence. As the hours drag on, Nancy's encounters with the shark become increasingly intense. The shark attacks with methodical precision, never ceasing in its pursuit. This relentless predator forces Nancy to come up with creative ways to stay alive, such as using her surfboard to fight off the shark and finding other ways to stay out of the water. Her isolation exacerbates her stress. Stranded in the middle of the ocean, Nancy is entirely at the mercy of nature. Her fight is not just physical, it's also deeply psychological. The loneliness, the fear, and the realization that no one is coming to help weigh heavily on her. the mental toll is as damaging as the physical one. At its core, The Shallows explores powerful themes of survival, isolation, and resilience. Nancy's struggle isn't just against the shark, it's a battle with herself. The film delves into the psychological toll of being alone, cut off from help, and facing death in the form of an unrelenting predator. As Nancy's body and mind begin to break down, we see the extreme limits of human endurance and willpower. The theme of survival is central, not only in the physical sense, but in how Nancy's determination fuels her fight. She uses her intelligence and resourcefulness to her advantage, showing that survival isn't just about physical strength, it's about mental toughness too. Throughout the film, Nancy taps into her deep reserves of resilience, driven by the need to live and return home to her family. Isolation is another key theme. Nancy is trapped on a small rock, surrounded by water. The vastness of the ocean, a beautiful yet terrifying backdrop, symbolizes the isolation that grows more oppressive with every passing minute. She is utterly alone, and that solitude sharpens the movie's tension. Every time she looks out into the water, there's the potential for a deadly attack, and the psychological stress of this constant uncertainty builds the horror. Finally, the power of nature looms large in the film. The ocean, so beautiful and inviting at first, becomes a brutal force of nature that challenges Nancy's survival instincts. The shark, as a representation of this force, is both terrifying and unstoppable, highlighting the unpredictability of nature and the helplessness of humans in the face of it. The cinematography of The Shallows plays a significant role in creating an atmosphere of suspense and fear. The vast open ocean is depicted as both beautiful and terrifying. The isolation of Nancy's position is accentuated by wide shots that show just how small she is in comparison to the endless water around her. These visuals emphasize her vulnerability and amplify the fear she feels. As Nancy is stranded on her tiny rock, the ocean becomes a constant reminder of how little control she has over her situation. Underwater shots are used sparingly, but they are crucial to building tension. Each time the camera dips beneath the water, there's a sense of dread, as we know the shark could be lurking just below the surface, waiting to strike. The underwater shots also provide a unique perspective, showing Nancy from below and heightening the sense of claustrophobia and imminent danger. The tight, close-up shots of Nancy's face and body increase the film's intensity. These shots capture her expressions of fear, exhaustion, and determination, creating a deep emotional connection with the audience. As she fights for her life, these close-ups allow us to feel the physical and emotional strain of her situation, pulling us deeper into her struggle. The overall cinematography plays a vital role in the survival horror aspect of the film, keeping the audience on edge with each new shot and focusing on Nancy's isolation in a vast, dangerous world. One of the film's most effective techniques is its minimalist sound design. There's little traditional music to guide the emotions. Instead, the sound design relies on the natural noises of the environment. The sound of the ocean is constant, the waves crashing against the rocks, the distant calls of seabirds, and the unsettling sounds of the water as Nancy nervously waits for the shark to strike again. The absence of a typical score creates an eerie silence, heightening the tension as every sound becomes amplified. Every splash of water, every deep breath Nancy takes, and every attack from the shark is more pronounced because of this sparse sound design. The result is a more visceral experience that pulls the viewer into the same survival mindset as Nancy, where every small sound could mean life or death. The sound of Nancy's breathing also becomes an important part of the film's soundscape. As she grows more exhausted and desperate, her breathing becomes heavier, a subtle but powerful way of conveying her physical and emotional state. Blake Lively's portrayal of Nancy is central to the success of The Shallows. With minimal dialogue, Lively relies heavily on her physical performance to convey the depth of Nancy's struggle. From the beginning, she portrays Nancy as strong, independent, and resourceful, someone capable of handling the challenges that come her way. However, as the shark's attacks intensify, we see her vulnerability and fear start to show. Lively's ability to balance vulnerability with strength is key to keeping the audience emotionally invested. As Nancy deals with the physical pain from the shark attack and the emotional toll of isolation, Lively's performance shines through. She's able to make us feel her fear, frustration, and determination without needing to say much, making every small action and decision she makes even more significant. Her performance keeps the movie grounded, and her connection with the audience is what allows the movie's emotional stakes to resonate deeply. Nancy's struggle becomes our struggle. Her determination becomes our hope. The pacing of The Shallows is expertly crafted. The film takes its time in setting up the quiet, peaceful beach before the shark attack, allowing the viewer to settle into the atmosphere. Then, as the shark appears, the pacing shifts dramatically, building tension and urgency as Nancy fights for her life. The slow, steady build-up heightens the suspense, and the pacing remains tight throughout, keeping the audience on the edge of their seats. The film effectively uses the shark attacks to increase the urgency of Nancy's situation. Each attack is a race against time, and each failure to escape brings a greater sense of dread. The pacing mirrors Nancy's mental and physical decline, and this creates a rhythm that keeps the audience engaged. As we wrap up our review of The Shallows, it's clear that this movie delivers a compelling and intense survival story that keeps you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. From its breathtaking visuals of the vast ocean to the heart-pounding suspense, The Shallows does an incredible job of immersing you in the terrifying battle between Nancy and the relentless shark. Blake Lively's performance as the resourceful and resilient Nancy is nothing short of outstanding, pulling us deep into her emotional and physical struggle. The film succeeds in creating a gripping, suspenseful atmosphere with minimal distractions, and its visuals, particularly the use of underwater shots and tight close-ups, amplify the isolation and fear of being trapped with no way out. The minimalistic sound design also adds to the tension, making every moment of silence or sound feel like a potential threat. While The Shallows has a lot to offer, it's not without its minor flaws. Some may argue that certain moments feel a bit predictable or repetitive, especially as the shark attacks continue. However, these are small issues in an otherwise thrilling survival story that showcases human determination in the face of overwhelming odds. In the end, The Shallows is a must-watch for fans of survival thrillers and anyone who enjoys a good suspenseful battle for survival. If you're looking for a movie that will keep you hooked with high stakes and a relentless pace, this one is definitely worth checking out. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to give us a like and hit that subscribe button to stay updated with more movie reviews and content from Movies Review. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.